Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and in today's video we are going to be replacing the bushings in the control arm bracket that mounts to the chassis. As you can see, I just did this one, and I'm going to go over how to do the passenger side as this is the driver's side. Same procedure for both, but as you can see, this was my bushing, and it was super easy to take out because it all just fell apart. So the worse off yours is, the better. These bushings were original to the car, I'm almost positive, because they were just in such bad condition. And putting the new ones in actually wasn't too bad at all. All I needed was a press. I did read online you can do this with a vise. However, using the press made this really easy. All right, so the first step to getting this off is to undo the two bolts that mount the actual bushing housing to the chassis. If you guys saw my video on doing the, putting all the suspension back and the axles back in, includes hooking these up. And these are extended bolts, so they are 15mm heads. The stock ones, I believe, are 16. And there we go, got that out, and now there's plenty of room to mess around with the bushing here. So the way I like to do it, because these were so rusty, is you literally can just twist and turn them until they come off. The retaining ring on the inside will probably still be on the control arm, but we're going to deal with that afterwards. The easiest way to get these off, like I said, is really just to twist and turn them, especially if yours are old. They should just come right off with enough force. Yep, and just like that, it's all set and out. And as you can see, the retaining ring is still on, but we'll be pulling that off later before we put the new bushings on. All right, so the next step is going to be to just get the old bushing material out. Now again, I have it easy because these are so rusted, it literally just falls right out. But basically what you're gonna wanna do is get the two outer parts out, the two bigger parts, and then you'll see in here, there's these smaller rubber parts on each side. Also take note, the arrow on the OEM bushing is facing the protrusion on the actual mount here, and that's the same way we'll be putting the new one back in, with the arrow facing the protrusion. But we just want to get these out right now. You can also use a screwdriver, it makes it a little bit easier. All right, so the next step is actually going to be to get this in a vise, and I just did it by hand, where I took a chisel just like this here and just a regular hammer, and this protrusion on the outside here on both sides is the actual bearing, or the bushing itself. So what we're going to want to do is on both sides go all the way around and knock this inward. That way we'll have something to press this out with. And for reference, here is what the other bushing shell. All right, so this is where the press comes into play. We're going to be pressing this bearing sleeve out and putting the new bushing in. So I got it folded over on both sides. That's just to break the seal all the way around. And then the one side you want to fold in a bunch so we can put something on it. Now I happen to have this die here. It actually goes to a Woodward Fab like metal roller where you can put bends and stuff in metal. So this is basically the perfect press for this, because it's nice and sturdy and it's the exact same width as the bearing sleeve. So I'll be pressing it out with this. Right after we're done, I will measure this. So this press I have here is just the 20-ton hydraulic bottle jack from Harbor Freight. It's basically, just the standard metal press you get there. And then I'm not sure if these came with it or not, but I had them laying around. And this makes it really nice because you can put this in the center hole here and press out without having to fight against anything. So that makes it super easy. So all we're gonna do is line everything up and then press the bearing sleeve out. All right, and that's the bushing sleeve out. Just pops out no problem. I also have this 1/4-inch piece of steel here. This makes putting the new one in easy as well. So then, you don't have to get it perfect right on there. So this is all set now. The next thing we're going to do is come in here and just clean this up with some 600 grit sandpaper, or really whatever sandpaper you have, but the higher grit the better. We're just looking to take a lot of the rust chunks off. All right, so this is cleaned out as good as I'm going to get it for now. And when you look at the housing here, you'll be able to notice it's very slight, but there is a taper on one side and there is not on the other side. So we will be putting the bearing in with the taper facing up. That way it can self-center itself as we push it down. Here is the brand new bushing. I got these on Amazon. They are Delphi brand, and here's the part number. I'll have them linked below. They were only $30 for the pair. And I will also have a link to another set, which I have not bought or tried, but I'd imagine it's the exact same thing, that already has the bearings here installed into the actual housing. So you get a brand new housing. That's $60, but I'm on a budget and I'm trying to keep it simple. So I figured I already had all the tools. We'll spend the 30 bucks and just replace the bearings. The next thing I'm going to do is just get a little bit of motor oil on a rag and just wipe that around the inside of the housing. It should make it slide in a lot easier, but not enough to where it should want to ever like rotate around or anything like that. This is just to get it to slide in a little bit nicer. So we're gonna do that as well and make sure to lube up the edge. And then I'm also gonna put a little bit on the actual bushing itself, just to make it, slide in just that little bit easier. So it's not just bare on bare here. Also makes it so the any imperfections in your housing kind of don't matter, because there is a little bit of lubrication. So now that that's all set, what we're going to want to do is get the housing with the tapered side up, and then we're going to want to take the the bushing here, and you can see on the edge, or on this piece of rubber here, there's an arrow. This arrow faces the protrusion, so it will go in just like this here, and you're going to want to get that arrow perfectly in line with this, and then we'll press it all the way in. When we start pressing it in, we don't need to have these plates lined up perfectly. We can actually just push them together, press this all the way down until it's flat. And we also don't need this. You can just use the 1/4 inch steel for this. It makes it a lot easier. And then we'll line it up afterwards just to press it into place that little bit more, because both sides of this bushing do hang out of this housing. Okay, so that's the bushing pressed in as far as it'll go without moving these plates apart. So now all we're going to do is move the plates apart so it's the plates are just riding on the actual housing here, so we can push this bushing through a little bit more. So there's about a 50-50 split between what's hanging out on the top and what's hanging out on the bottom. I don't know an exact measurement for this, but it's so close you should be able to just do it by eye. All right, so this is all pressed in now. You can see it's halfway between. Another good one is if you're using a flat piece of 1/4 inch like this, it'll pretty much be even with the top of the actual protrusion piece here, and then you're all set. I will take measurements right now of the tool I was using to press the old one out, and it is 58.2 millimeters, give or take. So that was the old one, and the actual bearing size is going to be 60.3 millimeters, give or take. It's probably really 60. So you can get either of these sizes. This one works perfectly to press it out. So I would definitely try to get something in this realm. You can also use a big socket if you have something big enough. I have up to a 38 millimeter, and it wasn't big enough. But really pressing the old one out doesn't really matter, just because we're destroying it anyway. All right, so back underneath the car now. Going to get the bushing end that was still on off. There's a couple ways to do it. So the outer bushing here is metal, the inner is rubber. You could take a torch to this, melt the rubber out, and just pull it off. The way I did it was I took a Sawzall, just cut some slits in it, and then was able to just wiggle it off. For how terrible the shape this car was in, these actually aren't bad at all. There's not even a lot of corrosion on the end. But if you're having difficulty, definitely try to sand some of this down. And now I'm going to do it on the passenger side. All right, so as you can see, I got the passenger one, or the driver's side one on, and it fought me every step of the way. It's a total nightmare putting these on. But the way I found to do it, and it eventually goes on, is to take and sand this down as much as possible, all the corrosion on the end here, get it as flat as possible, and then just douse everything in oil. And eventually you'll be able to slide it on, and you want it to go all the way up to where the old one was. You can't just have it on the end here. It's got to go all the way in. So it was a total nightmare, but that's how you got to do it. And then once it's on, you're all set. So now that this is all on, you can see we went all the way down with it, which is what we want. The next step is just to put these back on, and that is just as simple as lining everything back up again and screwing in the bolts. The torque spec for these bolts are going to be 30.2 foot-pounds. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for this video. All the bushings are in and everything is torqued down. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and thank you for watching.